It's a macro strategy. Let's get it, huh? Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. It's a macro strategy. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Thanks for coming through today. It's a macro mindset channel. We're thinking big picture. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. Now, let's turn it up a notch. Hey, it's a macro strategy. It's a macro strategy. We in this crypto space. Kick back, get a snack in the cold case. We are here for the macro, the long race. DeFi, GameFi, and the right games. We are here for the tech and the price games. This is blockchain. This is our lane. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. It's a macro strategy every day. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Yeah. Now let's go now. Yeah. Now let's go now. Bring it back for me one time. Bring it back for me 2 times. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. It's a macro strategy. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Now welcome to the trade room, y'all. Now welcome to the trade room, y'all. It's a macro strategy. Welcome to the trade room, y'all. Thanks for coming again, guys. I'm gonna catch ya on the other side. Deuce.
What's up? Welcome to the trade room on this macro Saturday. It is a good time in the year. It is a good time in the markets. A lot of bullish things happening, and we are here to talk about that today along with the charts. And so if you're here in the early stages, thank you. If you're watching later, thank you. Make sure to put a thumbs up and let's get it winning. I'm gonna drop a little bit of la music in the background here so we can get it grooving a little bit. So let's get right into it because we got a lot to cover. All right. And we don't cover news a lot in this channel, but we are going to be covering one of the latest updates dropped into the Defikingdoms ecosystem, and that is the partnership between the FK itself and Metis. This is huge. This is something that needs to be really highlighted because when you talk about crypto and blockchain and gaming happening on chain, there has been a big problem, and that big problem has had to do with scalability and the movement of data and the storage of data and its fluidity in the Defikingdoms ecosystem when you are trying to build a game. And so this Metis partnership not only helps bring in more development and developers, it helps bring in money funding from Metis. That's going to allow DFK to really put the pedal to the metal. And they've already said that the release and rollout of things should pick up, but it should now pick up at least 2x, right? And so this partnership is awesome. It not only means more liquidity, bigger eyeballs, but it also means we are now getting PvP. We can now go in and battle against each other, which is going to be exciting because anything that draws network effects and momentum in the ecosystem is really important. So shout out to Red Room, stopping in, showing some love. Shout out to TuneFed. I've seen TuneFed's PFP pop up more in the last 2-3 weeks than ever before, just because of how much I've gotten into into HONK, and we're gonna do some charting. Right, we're gonna do some charting, and that's to come. Even as we highlight the partnership with Metis, and you guys know the order of liquidity that we speak about on this channel that happens with the markets, you know, between BTC, AVAX, then that rotates, sorry, BTC, Ethereum. Ethereum is the altcoin indicator, rotates into then you have your layer ones, your layer twos. We're looking at AVAX and that liquidity also moving into JWEL. But now we're looking at JWEL liquidity moving into Crystal. And then we are looking into that liquidity moving into the other coins, including meme coins. And that's why we're going to look at HONK. Not only that, it is meme coin season in the crypto markets. And so we're going to take a look at things like dog with a hat, HONK, and anything else that the chat would like for us to look at, right? So we're going to dig into that. Obviously, we have Bitcoin, BTC all-time high, right? In the bear market, okay, in the bear market when Bitcoin was dumping to about 15K, people weren't talking about meme coins. When Bitcoin was dumping to 15K, and Sam Bankman-Fried and that whole FTX situation went about, the sentiment, the bullishness was not this high. Be realistic, right? And so we're always going to look at the charts as the great equalizer to try to keep us humble, try to keep us leveled. But the meme coins running are always a great indicator of not only the upside and the bullishness that we're in, but it's a great indicator of what? Some of the downside that's coming as well. And so we'll talk about that and how it correlates to the Bitcoin halving. Fundamentals of crypto litigation for dummies. As you guys know, I do that with Sticks Intern, and he'll be coming on with us sometime in a couple of weeks. So we have that coming up. DFK Helper. We have an AMA coming with that, right? A lot of people are using bots. Whether they're have graciously gotten it from Team Goose, or you've gotten that service if you're not someone who can actively run applications and manage them, DFK Helper. And there's a lot of questions about is the botting system healthy? And so we're going to talk about an AMA for that coming next week. And we're going to chart little things like the yellow pet eggs if we have time for that. But it is our normal market indicators, BTC, AVAX, and on. But we're gonna highlight some meme coins today as well because we're just in the moment, right? And so let's take a look at the chat currently. Yes, sir. Tune giving me a shout out there. Red said she's chilling, hoping to find out more about Metis. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can, I can dig into Metis really quickly, especially looking at their platform and my overall thought on what they're going to be able to do for the ecosystem. And then we have JE saying, obviously, the sentiment is not going to be high. Listen, my sentiment is always high, right? Even in a bear market. And that's a thing that I try to preach on when it comes to uh crypto and the bear market, is that if you are looking at the overall crypto market and if you understand the psychology game when it comes to this space, then what you're doing is to train yourself to not be wavered by sentiment, especially when things get super bearish and prices are going down and the entire industry itself is being questioned. And a part of training that sentiment is understanding the fundamentals, the economics, but also to the charts as well. And retail that ends up coming in late at the top of the market is moved and shifted by sentiment. So it could be that obvious, but don't think is that obvious because we are humans. And sometimes it's hard to take a look at what's going on in the moment. So, since we're speaking on Metis, right? Um, we could look at the Metis chart really quickly, but I do want to jump into the Metis platform. On their Twitter, 223K followers. They've been doing some things, right? And when you dig into their platform, the thing I want to clarify is that there are blockchains that fit in different categories, right? You have your AI coins, right? You have your DAOs, which were really popular last cycle and even the cycle before that. They weren't so much popular last cycle. They were popular the cycle before that. You have blockchains like Filecoin that deal with storage. You have Chainlink, which we'll speak about in a bit as well. Um, that all these dive in different sectors, right? And so when you look at a blockchain like Metis, they provide a lot of different resources. But the biggest thing I've seen from Metis is their ability to provide. Let me switch over to their Metis website. The biggest thing I've seen from Metis is their ability to provide enterprise solutions for blockchain companies that are looking to solve the scalability issue, looking to solve the development cycle, right? Because in blockchain, the cool thing is we're getting a chance to develop with these ecosystems. But when it comes to these ecosystems, every bull market, you have a short window. And for as fast as DeFi Kingdoms does their things, which they're doing innovative things in the blockchain space, it's still not fast enough, right? Especially when you're looking to take advantage of certain cycles that happen within the market. And so, Metis is going to allow that to be possible, right? They have a decent amount of transactions, nowhere near the amount of transactions that happens on a DFK chain, which is the leverage that we have, right? They have more addresses, right? They have close to 1 million addresses, which is it's pretty substantial, right? I'm an XRP guy. The XRP has been here over a decade, and we have about 4 or 5 million wallet addresses. That's all a part of the network data that's needed. Their gas fee is reasonably cheap, right? It actually kind of, depending on what you're trying to do in DFK, it actually competes with us, right? The transactions are a minute, and their TVL, they have close to about 1 billion TVL locked up. All this is substantial, right? And again, enterprise solutions, right? How do we push things together? How do we combine them? How do we plan and how do we roll it out in a efficient manner, right? And so that's the biggest thing is not only are they have a chess fund that they're going to provide to the different blockchains or companies that they decide to partner with, but they're also providing funding. Now, if you look at the ecosystem in itself, my freaking goodness. If you look at the ecosystem, not only are they having bridge type blockchain, sexes, DeFi, DEXs, NFTs, GameFi, my biggest, my biggest thing that I want to touch on is infrastructure and Chainlink. The fact that they provide infrastructure enterprise solutions along with an oracle like Chainlink is a total game changer. And being able to tap into the Ethereum network, but also avoid the fees that come with the Ethereum network is absolutely substantial. And this is bullish not only for DeFi Kingdoms in the game, but this is bullish for all the third party applications that we have running in the ecosystem, including what? Including HONK, which we're going to be looking at as well. And so, that's going to lead us to actually check out the Metis uh, blockchain. right? It's going to lead us to check out the Metis blockchain, the token in itself, and what the price is doing at the current moment, just to understand how bullish this Metis token is. It's actually quite unbelievable, right? So we're gonna switch over to the chart since we're talking about Metis, right? And what we're seeing here is absolutely quite unbelievable, right? And so normally with my charts, I'll draw a bunch of things on it, and but this is gonna be a fresh look at Metis with not too much drawn on it. We're gonna check in on the chat. We have Kong in the building. What up, Kong? Always showing love. Saw you out at Karate Combat, hyping up Grady. It was awesome to see, man. Love seeing you everywhere. Number of transactions on a chain is not an indicator of value. No, it's not an indicator of value. It's an indicator of network effects, right? It's an indicator of how many people or how many wallets are sitting there, right? An indicator of you need more than one thing for an indicator of value. And JE, thanks for popping in tonight. On this channel, we talk macro. We talk macro, we talk economics, and then we talk charts, right? And so the number of wallets is just a base layer step that you need to start off with, right? And so it's not an indicator of value, but it's an indicator of the window for network effects. With the DFK platform, you know, there's a ton of addresses, and really it could be that one person one person owns 10 wallets, right? And you have 10 addresses. But I do agree with you. It's not an indicator of value. It's an indicator of what's needed for network effects. Network effects eventually leads to volume within the network. Volume within the network eventually leads to price action, i.e., the quote that we have of what volume precedes price. And we've seen that in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem. Two noobs, shout out to you, main. You coming on actually reminds me that I do a lot of prep for my streams, and the last time the last time I did not prep the donate live um application. So hopefully I get a chance to pop up the donate live here, because not only am I missing out on donations, but but I do like to support third party builders in the ecosystem. So shout out to you. If you could do me actually a favor, I'm gonna head over to my Twitter and try to click through with that link. But if you could just toss the donate live link at me, either through Discord or through Twitter, I will go ahead and click through, especially if I don't have it saved here on my bookmarks. Let me check my bookmarks. Let's see here. I gotta do better. I got to do better. So in the meantime, I'm gonna let's see, and we want to support. Yeah, Sarge, you're right, man. You're right, man. I'm gonna have to get that up so you guys can throw some support my way. Now, Metis, we're gonna look at Metis price action. And I'm gonna hop over to my Twitter so I can holler at the donate live. I was actually astounded at the kind of moves that Metis had done, because I was aware of Metis after they launched in 2021. And you know, you see some things, you watch it, and then you kind of move on, and you come back later and you're like, whoa, either this thing died or this thing became an amazing project. And that's a bit of what we see in Metis. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop in here on a Metis chart. When we take a breather in about 5 minutes, I'll switch over to my donate live. One thing I'll ask for donate live is, and if you're listening, to have the sign in via Gmail as well. I have so many usernames and passwords that I do like the ability to do that, to sign in with my Gmail. I'm gonna have to locate the username and password that I have set for donate live. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the Metis chart and see what we have going on here. And so, when you see the Metis chart, very similar to a wick off pattern here, where in 2021 when they launched, they grew with the rest of the market, and actually this only has 2022 stats. But all in all, Metis had a downturn from the top here in February of 23. Metis went down about 77%. Okay. Very usual to happen in crypto. And here at that $10 region, I would say a very similar pattern to AVAX that we were watching before, which was a wedge, a descending wedge that we have going on here. And obviously the RSI trailed down with that descending wedge. And then from this descending wedge, there was a way to gauge what the possible upside of this move was. And if you're taking 2020 into if you're taking that into consideration from the top here to the bottom here, let's take a look there. The upside that we were looking at for Metis was about $139, and it's crazy because it actually did that, right? It actually ran to 139, and that's where it's currently having its correction. I think that there is a great possibility that Metis, and it already has come down to test the $71 region multiple times on the weekly chart. Um, and with Bitcoin being as bullish as it is, and we're going to look at Bitcoin, I'm not surprised to see this rejection here at 139. When we look at a larger high and low probability, 157 is another area that we can see Metis go to. But this is a dangerous area to actually be buying the Metis token. Very dangerous area to be doing that. We've seen this full Fibonacci retracement move, and what tends to happen here is that it's come down to test this area multiple times. And when Bitcoin runs and Bitcoin dominance takes over, it could be that it needs to come back down and possibly test the 65 dollar area before it then kind of makes its way up out of here. And then we need to figure out what the future um future move is for it. But all in all, I mean, this move here from the lows was a 1,225% move. I mean, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy, and it's cooled down to now about a 900% move. And so if this corrective period happens, even if it comes back and tests the $64 region, what is the upside based upon this new high low that we have here? If you're looking at Metis, some people like to draw from the top of the wick. I like the base of the wick, and then I like to adjust it from there when it comes to Fibonacci retracement. But with the first eye glance of Metis, that's crazy that my drawing just led to the top of this Fib. That's actually weird. But we're looking at like $258 for Metis, which, from the very bottom of this movement, right? And this is why, for me, Metis is not something that I'd be wanting to invest in terms of, oh, I'm trying to gain some profitability off of it. There's a lot of things that have yet to make their biggest moves yet. But all in all, from the bottom for Metis' full move right here, this is like a 2,400% move here to $258 here as the next level of resistance here for Metis. And in crypto, irrational things happen. And so, is there a possibility for Metis to go higher? Yes. But are these dangerous areas to possibly be trying to accumulate Metis? Yes. Now, I wonder if in order for us to be actively doing the Coliseum, are we going to have to hold Metis? Are we going to have to? Very interesting to see what further announcements come out with Metis and how we're going to be able to um, you know, integrate with this ecosystem when we're looking to do PvP. Gonna be very interesting to see what happens with that. But overall, that's what we're looking at for Metis, right? A lot of eyeballs on Metis. Metis is doing really, really well. And so if we're coming in and making a strategic partnership, that's going to be it's going to be interesting, and it's also going to be bullish for the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem as well. When we switch over to just take a quick look at the actual like tokenomics of Metis, when you look at the total supply is 10 million, right? That's kind of impressive. It's a very low supply, right? And the max supply is 10 million. So to me, okay, most crypto tokens have a inflationary mechanism to it. It'd be interesting to dig into Metis and find out if it has no inflationary mechanism to it. And if that's the case, very good tokenomics. And very bullish to see as well. When you look at the current circulating supply, half the supply is circulating. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of that is a part of the TVL, the total value that's locked up as well. And the market cap is even at $104, the market cap is only $500 million. So, we looked at the charts to see, hey, what does the charts tell us? And the charts told us that, $230 is what we could be looking at when it comes to Metis. But when I look at the market cap, I mean, in crypto, market caps can really grow. So I can see this market cap being at 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, and at 3 billion, right? That's like a 4 to 5x from here. So 4 to 5x from here is like a $500 Metis token, and that's where you get the irrational movement, right? It's just money flowing in. You get the irrational movement of money flowing in. Forget the charts. This thing could go to $300 to $500 very easily, based upon the kind of liquidity that's currently in the markets. And so that's the base analysis of Metis that we have there. And as Metis grows, that only helps the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem in itself to grow as well. So we went a little bit reverse. Obviously we talked about the partnership currently with Metis and the DeFi Kingdoms, ecosystem. We're speaking on how bullish that is, and we don't drop a lot of news on this channel, but this is absolutely bullish what we have coming, and it's also an indicator of PvP as well. So, with that being said, we are going to hop into the RUT, the regular order of liquidity, right? The regular order of liquidity that happens in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem. Before we do that, right, and we have AVAX here, I'm going to pull up Bitcoin here as well. Before we look at Bitcoin all-time highs, and my goodness, this is absolutely bullish, right? We're going to reminisce a little bit and talk about what was happening in this area and what we were looking at on the charts. We're going to talk about what was happening in this area at 25. So 15 to 25, 25 to 40 region, which is the F around and find out zone, and then the all-time highs. And we're going to talk about what we're looking at for the future, of Bitcoin. But really and quickly, I want to, let's tap into the game a little bit, right? Let's tap into the game a little bit. These are my Mythic Heroes, right? And I'm going to have you guys judge my Mythic Heroes really quickly, right? If they're ass, tell me they're ass. I really want to get the opinion of my Paladin. I just came off of Wowie's, 12-hour stream. Shout out to Wowie. And he was breaking down the Archer before I left, and got some really, really bullish breakdown from Wowie. And I felt really good about my Archer, even though it's level 3. But I want to get your guys' opinion on my Paladin, right? And so I'm going to turn the music up just slightly while I make an attempt to hop into bed. While I make an attempt to log into the donate platform with my credentials. Hopefully I'm able to figure it out. But let me know what you think about my Paladin. Give me about a minute while I get this going here. Enjoy the music. Let me try to get in. Awesome. Okay. Thanks for your patience, guys. Hang on there. Okay. Well, guess I wasn't able to figure that out. Ba-da-da. Oh, darn diggity. All right. Well, I'm actually going to do something here. Let's see if I can force a password reset. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So while I'm waiting for this password reset here, let me look in my. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay. I don't see. Oh, let me see. Oh, nice. Okay. We're getting we're getting somewhere. we're we're getting somewhere. I think I figured it out. Hold on a second. Oh man. So this is what happens when you just do way too many multiple streams at once. But let's see if it works. We're in. Ruin. All right, so let me go to. Yes, we're gonna use Google to. No, you know what? I'll do this later. I don't want to save this here. We're gonna go to my dashboard and quite truly and honestly, I want. Let me turn this music down here, guys. Thanks for your patience. I have figured out the donate live application. I use StreamYards, and so I just want StreamYards to figure out this damn widget issue and get that integrated. Shout out to Red Room. Thanks for your insight. Um, let's see. Nice mythics. Thank you, TuneFed. Look, Tune. I might send one of those mythics over. For this hunt quest. I'm gonna have you guys look at them. The one you think is the worst or the trashest, I'm gonna send it over to for the HONK quest V2, right? And it's just a consideration, right? Sarge says they look sexy. So let me show you my paladin. That's kind of what I want to get your guys' opinion on. It's a paladin wizard, level 8, lesser might stoned, dex highlighted, even though the dex has not built out as well as I thought it would. When it has an advanced blue tag on there, it's a minor, right? So that fits there as well. Wisdom is up there because I want this guy to be a pretty explorer that can also have magic defense. The primary growth, the stat growth is alright, is decent. I thought the dexterity would build out better. Honestly, I really thought it would. No advanced skills, but I like the foresight. And I like the Iron Skin and Death Mark as well. So, that's my guy. That's my paladin. Nothing too crazy about him, but he's chill. I have my summoner here, summoner priest, which I like that combo. Don't like the HP build up. It's looking a little weird for that HP build up there. Gen 1, I like my Gen 1s, man. Level 8, right? When you look at him, No stone, but he does have a tier bonus. And really high intelligence for a level 8. I think that's decently above average. Um, and the wisdom is okay as well. So I'm gonna have to work on the dex and the HP build on this. No advanced skills, so like he's okay, and he's not stoned. So I think like it's a pretty good build, but he's a candidate, right? Or she's a candidate to be sent over for the Hunt for Honk V2 quest. I have my pirate here, which I was actually trying to, you know, level up and get something else. Like I smashed what is it, a monk and a pirate together, trying to move up to ninja. Didn't get that. Put a greater finesse stone on him. And so his dexterity has been building up pretty well for a level 6 pirate. Um, as a fisher, I, I think I couldn't go wrong with this, right? Luck build pretty decently. I would like the strength to build a little bit better. No advanced skill, which is okay. It is what it is. I like poison blade here as well. And so, that's my little itty bitty pirate, right? I have my warrior, which I think this guy is a beast. I have my warrior here. We have a Gen 15, so a little bit away from my Gen 1 affinity, right? But he has a swiftness stone, and I'm beginning to see how valuable speed is and agility is, right? So it's a warrior, right? Has 33 strength, which is decent for a warrior build at level 10. Agility's pretty high. I love the agi build. Dex is decent, right? And so I really love this guy. I'd love to get his HP higher. And guess what? He has days, right? He has days, poison blade and foresight. So really digging this guy here. And then he does have a dark knight, you know, he does have a dark knight class there as the recessive there as well. So love that warrior. And then we have, I think, my best hero to date, which is this archer wizard, Gen 5 level 3. And currently, the dex, I don't like the dex build on it, even though I had hit it with a lesser finesse stone. It could do a little better. It could do a little better. But I do like the fact that the endurance is has a little boost on there. The build out is cool, nothing amazing. But Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer, holla at me. I'm gonna build this guy to be a beast. Okay. So that is my mythic archer wizard with Giant Slayer. Love the wizard subclass because I would like to build out the wisdom for some magic defense down the line. So, you know, guys, let me know, right? Let me know, in terms of in terms of what I'm looking at with these guys, the worst hero out of all these guys, and I'm probably gonna send him into the Hunt for Honk Quest V2. All right, so let me know that. While we do that, I'm gonna switch over to my donate live. Okay, I was able to get that going. So if you guys want to donate to me, this is the link here. I'm gonna post it in the chat. I'm gonna post a link in the chat if you guys want to donate, and when I get donations, I will surely show them. Really trying to figure out this integration here with with how I'm using StreamYards and how that's gonna run. I did get 2 crystal. I did get 2 crystal that was dropped to me, which was pretty cool. I got that from the donate team. So yeah, that's the link there. I'm gonna tap into the chat really quickly here. Tune says, nice mythic floor. Been up lately. Legendary 1010 floors as well. Ooh, yeah. I feel like I haven't been doing too well with stacking up my legendaries. But I'm gonna be working on that because I think, yeah, if you have a legendary 1010, dude, like, come on, man, like people, especially when the other classes on the other side get dropped, they're gonna wanna put their heroes together, and a 10 for 10 it gives you the best ability not only to build your heroes but also to get the best chances at summoning the advanced heroes or elite or any of the higher levels when you have those 10 of 10s. And so um I'm excited to see that floor go up as well. But yeah, so that's the link, guys. If you want to donate, I don't have the cool pop-up that comes up, but you can surely I'll show my page. I'll show my page as we go through that. So gonna be shifting away from here. But guys, tell me, what is the worst mythic hero that I'm currently showing on this account? And he's either going to the pit or he's going over to Team Goose and the Hunt for Honk Quest V2. So let's take a look at Bitcoin while you guys tell me which one of my heroes is in the worst condition. So looking at Bitcoin, I mean, this chart looks incredible. When Bitcoin was going down here, all right, and then at that time I was tracking XRP heavily. And there may become a time where we track XRP, especially when it starts making its moves, where this price was going down here, but we saw bullish divergence. We called that out. We got an impulse. We said that this is a area of a possible correction. We got that bounce here where the correction happened, but we said 25K was a very, very solid support area. Why? That was the baseline here when we formed an initial cup and handle before our impulse. We tracked it. A lot of fear in the market. This move right here from the lows here, absolutely incredible. It's been 181% move back to the all-time highs. We said that this was Bitcoin's F around and find out zone in its parabolic phase. Not only that, because of the convolution that we have here, we said that if it can escape this F around and find out zone, that's where you start the absolute parabolic phase, right? That leads us to where? That leads us to a $92 Bitcoin. And in the best case scenario, a $216,000 Bitcoin. And from the place in the F around and find out zone where we said, hey, what's the possible upside that is left for Bitcoin? From this area, it was about $39,000. It was still just about a 445% move, right? So Bitcoin at these astronomical numbers, some people would say, "Oh, how can you say Bitcoin $216,000?" Well, from where it was at $39, it's only a 445% move. That's not unheard of in crypto. Now, there's a thing called diminishing returns, which with Bitcoin, we can even see that with the RSI, that you're not going to get those 1,000,000% moves from Bitcoin as it continues to age. But a 440 something percent move is not insurmountable at all. And so now that we are at the all-time high area, what happens in this area? Well, normally you'll see about a 20-30% correction once we get into these parabolic phases. Doesn't mean it's bearish. It just means that it spends less time in these corrective areas, right? A long corrective area where from when this thing started correcting, this lasted about 395 days, right? This last correction area, how long did this last? This lasted about 153 days. And so now that we're at the all-time high area, I don't expect Bitcoin to run through this easily. Okay, very similar to the F run and find out zone. When the month finishes, yeah, you're seeing a green candle, right? But I don't think it easily breaks through this all-time high area. I could be wrong. even if it does break out through this all-time high area, and we're going to shrink this to the daily, even if it breaks through this all-time high area, and shoots over to, at least what I believe the next resistance is, which would be around like 75K, right? At 75, 76K, it could still have a 30% correction from there, 20 to 30%, which is normal to see happen in these bullish periods, knowing that it won't stay in this corrective period for as long. But 20% correction from here brings us to about 54K, which I have 58K as a support area. That's kind of what I'm looking at if we're going to continue this bullish price action. But a 20% correction from the current area brings us to 54K, and then a 20% correction from that next resistance area, which I'll have to get my lines drawn out here now that we're breaking the all-time highs here. But 20% correction from there brings us to about 60K, which is this 58K support area that I think that's a really strong support area, especially since this RSI needs to cool down on the daily, even though in bull markets you get some of this parabolic price action. But that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin, right? Things look good, similar to the F around and find out zone. We are currently here at the all-time highs. I do expect 63,000 could be a support area. But also 258,000 could be a support area. I don't really see us running too much in the next 1 to 2 weeks, but in the next 2 to 4 weeks, sheesh, things will start getting very, very hectic, and you will start seeing Bitcoin dominance take over. What does this mean for altcoins? Well, we have AVAX as an altcoin. All right. And we watched AVAX in this area. And even at this 8 to $10 region, we formulated that AVAX could have a 2,526% run. That brings it to $223. And that is a great sign to see from AVAX, because that liquidity then matriculates into what? Into JWEL. And we're going to look at JWEL in a bit as well. But that's what we're looking at for AVAX. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because the AVAX chart looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart. This is the F around and find out zone when it comes to AVAX at the 786 Fibonacci area. It's finding its way around there. The weekly chart is starting to look superbly bullish. Anything at $35 range is a good healthy range for a corrective period, and we've seen it hanging around there. But I think imminently, and it looks like imminently, not only on the weekly chart, not only on a monthly chart, but also too on a daily chart, it looks imminently like AVAX is set to double. And what I mean by that is AVAX seems ready to move on to the 1618 area at $90. And from where we are right now at $42, that is 112% run for AVAX. So when the question come as in when JWEL, right? When JWEL to that $4 $4.50 area is when AVAX moved to $90. It really just is that simple. And then we're actually seeing in tonight's phase that Bitcoin is actually looking to make a push. Bitcoin is looking to make a push out of this area here on the daily. Even after this push, it'll be interesting to see. Even after this push, it'll be interesting to see what the 4 hour decides to do. What the 4 hour candle decides to do here. It seems like it's forming lower highs while the price is forming higher highs, which is an indicator of what? Some sort of bearish divergence that may play us out to back to test this $63,000 area. So that then leads us to JWEL. And my wife is calling me. I wonder why she's calling me. Yes, get me chicken. All right, so she was asking me what I she's asking me what I want to eat. Wings. Yeah, I want to keep it simple. I would like some wings. Uh, I would like some garlic wings. And thank you, and love you. um, no, 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 no. I don't want lemon pepper. Okay. Well, you can tell me. So, so all right. So, Jewel, right? The question is when Jewel, and in this week's stream, we're looking at Jewel. We're looking at the economic hardening theory. We're looking at the rumbling. It is coming, right? We're looking at the rumbling. It is coming, and Bitcoin has done its thing. Liquidity is moving on to AVAX. AVAX at $90 is when Jewel. AVAX at $90 is when Jewel makes this move from its F around and find out zone. And there's never been a more clear F around and find out zone. Oh, no garlic wings? Jeez. Okay. Oh, you're killing me here. Uh and lemon pepper split. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so uh, yeah, so we have a lot of different patterns that we tracked with Jewel, and obviously we spoke about the bullish divergence. Then we spoke about the inverse head and shoulder. Um, Man, you're killing me here. Then you talk about the inverse head and shoulder, and then you talk about now we're looking at this cup and handle, which is one of the easiest formats to follow. When it comes to patterns that we're looking at, but really we're looking at an impulse from here, to, especially when AVAX makes its way to $90. That puts Jewel very easily at about $3.35. Why is $3.35 the place we're looking at Jewel when it makes its next impulse, which is a total of a 1,027% move? It's because when you look at the history of Jewel, especially when you look at the weekly chart, there is nothing. There is no resistance. It does not exist. Okay, on the bigger time frame between where we are right now. See, the 75 cents area was a huge rejection period, not only because of this wick here, but if we dive in a little bit deeper into the daily chart and we look at the 75-cent region historically, major F around and find out zone. It was the first F around and find out zone between resistance and support here. Now, you do have this, 80-cent region, which when Jewel ran between 75 and 80 is where it got rejected and it came back down. You have this region here at $1.50, which, yeah, you're gonna have quite a bit of a battle here. It's understandable. But but when you look at the larger time frames, right, you're gonna have some resistance here on the daily chart as price makes its move. But when you look at the larger time frames, whether it's a 3-day, whether it's the weekly, there's not much stopping Jewel from getting to $3.35, or that $3.92. So really, $3.50 to $4 is what we're looking at for Jewel when AVAX makes this next impulse. And again, when Jewel runs, it's going to have a nasty correction because it's figuring out how to build these patterns here. But that's what we're looking at for Jewel, right? Not much else to really track here. So let's see here. Toonfed said wings, good call. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, gotta keep it simple. Gotta keep it simple. Gonna do the wings. It's been stream after stream after stream. She held it down by asking. I appreciate her. But gotta go with the wings. Ghost Panda says, I blame Sarge for whatever is wrong with The- there's there's absolutely nothing wrong with Jewel. It's so crazy, man. Like when we were tracking Jewel on the way down here with this falling wedge, which a lot of different things in crypto were forming this falling wedge. It was like, hey, we need to see this from Jewel. Jewel does it. Bullish divergence. Hey, we need to see inverse head and shoulder. Jewel does it. Then it's like, hey, we need to see a cup and handle. Jewel is doing it. So we're talking about macro patterns. Jewel has gone 3 for 3 on macro patterns that we need to see. And the next thing we need to see from Jewel, which we've seen from Bitcoin, is to escape the F around and find out zone. And Jewel it's happening right now, right? And so even if it dips back into this F around and find out zone at 25 cents, at 24 cents, just to bounce off of this mid Bollinger, I mean, we're looking at a pretty aggressive, fast escape from here. And I think $3.54 is just super priced in, especially as AVAX makes its way to $90 with, the layer two narrative there as well. So that's it for Jewel. That then leads into other things we have going on in the ecosystem. Now, Jewel's market cap is 118 million at the current moment. It's a pretty cool market cap. I think that uh, it, man, if the entire ecosystem got to $1 billion market cap, right? And so, I mean, dude, looking at a $1 billion market cap for Jewel is that should be easy. That should be quite easy, especially with GameFi coming on the back end. Liquidity is nice, it's cool to see this. What I want to do now is put some of the focus on things that have the meme coin narrative, right? The meme coin narrative. Meme coins have been going absolutely bonkers and crazy. By the way, guys, still waiting to hear which one of my mythic heroes are the worst, right? I'm looking to get rid of one of my mythic heroes, looking to participate in the honk, the hunt for honk V2, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit further detail. But you guys let me know which one of my mythic heroes it's not looking so good for, right? So we're gonna look at some meme coins. Right now this is with right dog with a hat. We're gonna look at that, but I think it would be a disservice if we weren't currently looking at the honk token. Okay, With is doing its thing. With is taking over crypto Twitter. There's actually another honk token that's it's been kind of doing its thing, and people get that confused a lot. Every time I tweet about honk, I have somebody I have some honk people coming in. But yeah, Ghost Panda says haven't summoned when Jewel was $20. I think there's plenty wrong, but still here. So maybe I'm the listen. If you were summoning when Jewel was at 20, you must be summoning, dark summoning. You must be going crazy right now because the barrier and cost to entry right now is super low. And quite honestly, when it comes to the 10 commandments of investing, not financial advice, if you were dollar cost averaging from those high periods, even now to these low periods, uh, y- your average could be sitting still at 25 cents, right? Even if you took losses prior. So, yeah, look, the harder the pain, and I tweeted this recently, the harder the pain and the trauma, the harder the upside because it hits the market as a surprise, right? So, hopefully you make a big bag. Hopefully you make a big bag with all the suffering that you've gone through, and hopefully you summoned and dark summoned and built some pretty dope heroes in the bear market, and especially now where jewel price is cheaper as well. So we have Honk pulled up here on the chart. We showed with. We're gonna wrap up the back end of this stream with the meme coins, because it's important to look at the meme coins when you're in a bull market. The meme coins will run 4 solid times, maybe 5 solid times, really aggressively. I think so far now we've had two huge runs. We're in the midst of our third huge meme coin run. After the fourth huge meme coin run, I will start to become concerned. Um, but as of now, it's really interesting to see. So, as Bitcoin fights this all-time high area, let's take a look at the meme coins, and we won't look at dog with the hat first. We'll look at honk, right? Now, before we even dig into the chart of honk right now, I do want to tap into their Discord, and look at their flight path right now, right, which is showing you kind of what's to come. And really, this and a few other things is what makes me ultra bullish on honk, right? We'll talk about the tokenomics and the chart and what that's looking like, but this is an ecosystem within an ecosystem that at this point is going to have longevity because the game is good. But this was the first outside of DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem to build their own tokens on the DeFi Kingdoms blockchain. Understand that, okay? Team Goose is separate from the DFK team. They've released, okay, their own tokens on the DFK blockchain, and there is a 420,067 fully minted honk supply. Tokenomics. We just looked at Metis, okay? And I'm going to go back to Metis. We just looked at Metis with a total supply of 10 million. That is the max supply, okay? And with only $555,000 in this ecosystem, it has moved to $100. And so tokenomics matter. I can't say it enough. Tokenomics matters, right? And so when we hop back over to what we're looking at with the honk token, it's incredible that right now Jewel is a over $100 million in market cap, and we see the honk token growing with it, right? Now, aside from the token supply, they have their own guilds, right? So building a community within a community, a lot of different guilds out there. Shout out to the Jewelers Guild, shout out to Mythic Squad, shout out to ADFK, shout out to all the awesome guilds out here. But you also have them in the liquidity pool. So they're providing liquidity for the ecosystem. And I'm telling you, some of their liquidity that they have right now is competing with even the DFK total liquidity that's available there, right? And so they are a force to be reckoned with, okay? In the actual value that sits within the game. Not only that, they have 8 Gen Zeros and growing. They're about to get one of my mythics. They're about to get one of my mythics and over 1,000 heroes, right? And so, how have they been able to garner this much value within their ecosystem that has a economic hardening effect with the token as well? Well, people want the honk token, and they're sending it in every month in order to get honk back, right? Not only that, they have airdrops coming, all right, to honk holders and DFK players. And this quest for honk V2 is just, it blows my mind, because whether you're building your army or shrinking your army, when you are refining command your legion, claim your legacy, which is a part of the ethos of DeFi Kingdoms. You're you have the ability to shrink or really fix and work on your legion and your strategy and have multiple liquidity stations, right? Right now, if you're trying to sell a hero and you put it on tavern, either you're pricing it down, right? Or it's gonna sit there, possibly if it's not the greatest hero, it's gonna sit there for weeks. Okay, there's over 1 million heroes, and so Honk now becomes a liquidity station, right? And so when you look at all that and you look at what's to come, which is the Honk swap, again, liquidity, a force of liquidity for the OTC market, the Honk Fest, the Honk Visage. Oh, and the Crystal Vale land, my goodness, they're building value on top of value. And then you hop over to the chart and you see what's going on in the chart. You see what's going on with the amount of liquidity they have, which at 5.5K liquidity, I think that liquidity is higher than at least 97% of the items that are in DeFi Kingdoms right now, right? With a market cap of 370,000. If DeFi Kingdoms and JWEL can grow to $1 billion market cap, even if Honk only has 4 million of that market cap, right? 5 million of that market cap, that is a 10x. That is an instantaneous 10x to $10. And based upon the tokenomics, this is probably one of the easiest 10x's that's sitting available within the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem right now. So last time we charted it, right, and we said since its genesis, right, since its genesis here at the very lows, and I hope I can mark this correctly. At the very lows, Honk has already made as high of a 10,000% run. A 10,000% run in a little over a year and a half, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. And now it sits in its F around and find out zone. And really, we just said that we won't be surprised to form a ascending triangle. From this ascending triangle, if we can escape out of the F around and find out zone, which sits between 40 cents and 122, would be nice to see. Currently, we're sitting at around 88 cents. I think a good baseline right now is about 74 cents. All right. Honk at 74 cents is a good buy. Not financial advice, but really another good area is 61 cents, which when I saw Dags, who's a part of my guild, the Jewelers Crypto, when he first purchased it, I said, I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole until it gets to 60 cents. Or not until, but like that's the area where I'd purchased it. I would purchase based upon the price. I never then again saw it at 60 cents. I missed my opportunity. And so I'm looking at this range for accumulation for Honk. I would love it at 74 cents. I'd love it even more at 60 cents. Kind of doubt that we get there. But the upside of Honk for me, these are the different resistance areas. I think that it breaks through, gets to $2 pretty easily. And then the next area where we can get a similar consolidation to what we have here is $3. That's really what we're looking at when it comes to Honk. I do think it's a journey to a 10x. It's a journey to $10. And really, when we shrink this down to the 3-day chart, I spoke and said that the 3-day chart looked bearish. Over the last couple of weeks, the 3-day chart has looked bearish, and that's really just what's playing out right now. But what does it look like to see Honk at $10, right? What does that look like right now? And I'm going to switch over. Let me switch over to the weekly, and I'm going to turn the Bollinger Bands off right here. Okay, so for Honk, what does it look like for a $10 run for Honk, right? I'm gonna take my ruler out here and we're gonna mark this off. A $10 run for Honk. And let me from the current place that we are at, okay, which is about 88 cents, a $10 Honk. Let me just get this right on the marker. Okay, a $10 honk from where we are at now is 1,000% run. Obviously, if you take a dollar and multiply it by 10, it's 1,000% run, right? And quite honestly, that's the starting point, right? A $10 honk is where I'm not touching honk with the 10-foot pole. A $10 honk, it's where, okay, we might be in store for some irrational behavior as we have this meme coin narrative attached to honk. A $10 honk is classic, easy crypto. Throw a dart at anything. This is the run. But if they actually start to implement some of these things and the value proposition behind honk, whew, we will not even talk about anything past $10. Let's make our way to $2. Let's see what's happening in the overall DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, um, and kind of go from there. Right now, uh, the future of honk is pretty bullish in my estimation, and this is a no brainer. When you look at something like Whiff, okay, dog with a hat, okay, this asset, and I have the 3-day chart here from its lows, okay, it's about a 3,400% move, right? 3,400% move for with dog with a hat, right? Um, and it's currently continuing to move up, and it's getting a lot of different traction in the ecosystem. Um, but yeah, we have Red Room saying honk. Yeah, listen, I gotta tell you, I have switched over some of my theories, especially based upon what honk has been doing. But Whiff is doing his thing. Whiff has been looking pretty bullish. It's made a pretty sizable move. If I get a little closer with this move, yeah, about a 3-4,000% move here. It looks like that is going to go to about $4.70. And honestly, it can correct even further. But now you have people looking and searching for meme coins. Even Doge itself, right? Doge has made a pretty strong move here, right? Doge was in its Efferon and Finance zone and doing a lot of consolidation. And Doge has made from this impulse, Doge made 146% run, right? And when we go into the monthly chart for Doge, man, Doge looks like, and we've been tracking this for a while, Doge has a 3,112% move ahead of it. And that leads Doge to about $3. That's the move for Doge that we have been tracking since what? Since this rejection here at 73, that was about a 93% correction for Doge. That's crazy. A 93% correction from Doge. And then from the lows of Doge's correction here, we've had about a 300% move. And so, yeah, meme coins are running, right? Overall, what is the takeaway? Overall, the takeaway is that meme coins are running. We're seeing some of the leaders of meme coins run. We're seeing even specific blockchains like Solana have multiple meme coins that run, and we're seeing the head honcho here, um, Doge, have a pretty significant run. And so that's what makes me feel pretty bullish because I don't have a meme coin position. Honk plays a role of that, but Honk is also really becoming what TuneFed would say, sound funny money, because they're actually putting a lot of great things behind what they are doing. So if you want to find out more about what Team Goose is doing, head over to the Team Goose Discord, because they're doing some pretty cool things there. So guys, yeah, I just shared my donate platform. I'm sharing my donate link here. Going to be a big supporter. I have to listen to Light, his last live where he spoke about what they are doing there. And they broke down the white paper as well, right? So that was pretty cool to see there. Um, for the stream, I will leave any thoughts on um, anything that we might want to chart. Um, for me, when it comes to some of the things that I am looking at, this is a bit of what the sheet is here. You have Crystal, Jewel, Moksha Runes, DFK Bloater, Honk, Swift Twistle, DFK Yellow Egg, DFK Swiftness Potion, which that came out on Deck Screener, and DFK Gold Egg. Out of all of these in the last 24 hours, it's been DFK Gold Egg, and it's been actually DFK Bloater that has been actually moving. Again, meme coin narrative, right? And DFK Bloater has even yet to start really making any real type of moves. But as you see, when the meme coin narrative hits, you have meme coins in different ecosystems start to move. And so this may be the start of an interesting run for DFK Bloater. What's up, Mega? Yes, sir. I'm on with the jewelers in less than an hour. So when you look at different narratives, right, we see DFK Bloater, which it's the darling of the DFK ecosystem. We see this low that is formed here, and this seems like a really strong baseline to me. Even if it doesn't have any utility, this baseline has been sitting here and has been forming since, if I can get my line to work here, has been forming for 217 days on this baseline, right? We recently made a very large impulse here that took us to 0.00014, and we've cooled off here, right? And so, what is the possible upside now that we're talking about meme coins and we're seeing the bloater here? If we were looking at our first really just baseline safe line indicator here, that's the high to low that we're drawing there. And that leads us to here. Okay, which is a 0.0002 for the bloater currently are. That is let's see, a 500% move, right? A nice little cute 500% move for bloater. Now, if we're tracking a much bigger area, let's say if this base really forms and becomes the base, and this is, let's say, the upside that we're looking at before one of the most major crashes for DFK bloater, what are we looking at for possible upside for that? Well, things start to get a little interesting, where now we have this market here at this convolution area, which is 0.003. For bloater, we have this area here at 0.005. And the very top of this retracement here, puts bloater at 0.0013, and that's 0.00133. So let's try to get that accurate there. And so, that's kind of what we look at, is for the bloater to come back to where it was when Deck Screener started tracking it, July of 2022, which, bloater has been there way before that, right? And so what does that look like for bloater? All right, what is the ultimate upside for this other meme coin in the Defikingdoms ecosystem? From where we are right now to the next major resistance area, we said 500% move. Now we have an 800% move. Then we have a 1,400% move. And then really, when we talk about the max upside of bloater, it's a 3,800% move. And maybe this is when the DFK ecosystem and others that aren't in the DFK ecosystem, this is when they actually would be like, bloater is a meme coin on DFK uh, 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 blockchain. Maybe this is actually going to do what the other meme coins are doing, right? And that would be a place where then, if you were accumulating a bloater, you're sitting with house money, because you've already now had a 3,800% run as the market catches some FOMO. And so that's the overall theory for DFK bloater. If we're going to move along with this meme coin cycle, and if DFK bloater is going to be a part of that, it needs to start moving when we see some of these other meme coins move. But really, like we said, we have Bitcoin all time highs. We're waiting for that. Then we have AVAX, which we're waiting for AVAX to double from where it's at now to about $85 to $90. That's when we're looking for an anticipation of JWEL to make its way to about $3.50 to $4, and that's when we have that liquidity matriculate to some of the other assets that we're looking at, i.e. HONK, i.e. DFK bloater as well. So, all in all, this is pretty cool to see. My job really becomes easier. My hobby becomes easier when we're in a bull market because there's not as much uncertainty. But things look really good in the ecosystem. Meta's partnership is huge. Looking at how Meta's tokenomics is and Meta's price action is huge as well. It's only going to bring more eyeballs into the ecosystem. And things are looking absolutely bullish right now. But paying a little bit of attention to these meme coins because these meme coins are starting to move. And the number one meme coin of all when it comes to Doge is starting to move as well. So very interesting to see this period that we're in. This stream was set to answer when JWEL, right? Now, as I gave you guys the heads up before, as we get ready to close out the stream next week we're going to be having a DFK helper AMA. All right, so going to be coming on with Zealous. So any questions or thoughts that you guys may have when it comes to DFK helper, or just when you're botting, how best to use your bots. Keep that in mind. We'll be taking questions that come in during that time as well. Big shout out to DFK helper. Big shout out to Zealous and everything he's doing for the community and the ease of use when it comes to those who want to use a botting system. Shout out to Donate Live as well. I'm going to be incorporating them more in our future streams. I think what they're doing is awesome. I love, love, love third party applications that are here and made for the community. You guys can catch us and me on the Jewelers podcast, which comes on right after myself. We're gonna do a shout out to the Jewelers podcast before we leave, and shout out to Wowie, who is also doing his thing right now. He's taking a lot of eyeballs from us with the Jewelers Saturday, but we absolutely love it, right? We love all the streaming that's happening. Let me just type in all the streaming that's happening in the current ecosystem. But yeah, guys, you guys can catch me on the Jewelers podcast coming up as well. A lot of good things to talk about. We're gonna have a grand time, hanging out as well. But we'll see you guys soon. Peace on this side. Very bullish things happening in the ecosystem. It's meme coin season. We're currently seeing Bitcoin really trying to escape out of this all-time high region. Gonna be excited to see if it actually happens. And we will go from there. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Having Sticks Intern on soon, having Zealous on soon. Tune Fed, big shout out to you and what you guys are doing on your end and how much you're providing for the overall ecosystem. Catch you on another one. Bullish.